Who is Rojean and what is she as a person?
Hi, ma'am. Good evening from the Philippines. So, Regine is the representative of the Philippines here in Miss Trans Global. I was chosen and I was given an opportunity to represent my country and at the same time represent myself, my authentic self. And me as a person, I think, and I also believe that I am a resilient individual. I am very strong individual because, I grew up without any family, without any guardian guiding me. At the age of 15, when my father left me, I lived my life alone. So I think I am strong enough because it's not a joke to live your life without guidance of the matured one. So I consider myself as a strong individual, and of course I'm very faithful because regardless of the hardship that I faced, I still believe in God, and I really do believe in God.
My next question would be, having been chosen as Miss Trans Global Philippines, what is Miss Trans Global to you?
You know what? I am a pageant lover, and pageantry is my livelihood. This is my bread and butter. But when I entered that Miss Trans Global stage, I realized how authentic the pageant itself. And for me, Miss Trans Global is authentic. It possesses authenticity because when you say pageant, there's certain standard. You need to look like this. You need to have the specific figure. You need to have the very beautiful faces in order for you to be qualified. But here in Miss Trans Global, we possess authenticity. The most important here in Miss Trans Global is our life story. So, it's really hard for me as a pageant lover, as a pageant contestera, or having a competition, a pageant, that we always promote and we fight for equality and at the same time inclusivity, and at the same time we are joining this kind of pageant where there's standard. So basically there's still a discrimination that we are reciprocating around the event. But here in Miss Trans Global, I believe that all of us, color, races, faces, intelligence, the most important is the story, the authenticity of the candidate. And I believe that authentic is the best word for Miss Trans Global. Thank you.
Yes, just a follow-up question to this. How active are you in the trans community when it comes to, advocacy?
I think I'm active enough in doing the advocacy of the trans community because before I won the Reina de Vauania pageant, where that is the grandest and the biggest pageant here in our city, Davao City. And at the same time, Davao City is the largest city in the Philippines, and I claim myself that the Reina de Vauania is the grandest and the biggest pageant in the whole Mindanao, and it is a record-breaking because it's actually the highest prize in terms of pageant that is supported by the government. So basically, I work as a government employee after I won the pageant, and when I work as a tourism relations officer, I do my advocacy, which is SOGI education. I went to different kinds of schools, private or public, and I teach SOGI education. At the same time, I invited some of trans people who are very successful in their respective career to share their story and do a career talk. So I think I am active enough that I serve the trans community, that I do the advocacy of the trans women.
Let me pass you to Miss Brazil first before I do my follow-up questions.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, ma'am. I'm doing good.
That's great. My question for you today is, if you were to be crowned Miss Trans Global, and a potential queen was anticipating joining the Miss Trans Global family and decided to look you up, what would your social media say about you?
Did you say social media, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. If an anticipating queen, no, if a potential queen was anticipating joining the Miss Trans Global family and decided to look you up, if you were to be crowned Miss Trans Global, what would your social media page and outlets say about you?
Oh, I think my social media page will be more talks about story of an individual. I want to title it as a Miss Trans Global, then dash authenticity, then the year of the pageant. And if given a chance to be crowned as your Miss Trans Global, the first thing I would do is I personally love to travel around the world, different countries, because when you travel, you learn a lot of things. At the same time, you learn and understand the different cultures in different countries, and at the same time, I will take pictures, videos, and share it to the public. And by that, I believe that the social media platform that I do have, that I am creating, will be more wide and will be more catchy because of the beautiful pictures and videos and stories that I share through my journey as your Miss Trans Global. Hoping, manifesting, ma'am.
Thank you. Miss Jane, your follow-up?
Yes, follow-up question. I have a very interesting statement for you to explain. And it goes like this. Not all women are assigned female at birth.
Do you want me to?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, that's really a good statement, because I also believe that not all women are born biologically women, because we do have the new version of women, which I know to myself since the beginning of my life. I know to myself that I am a woman, that I am not belong to the male category, So my heart, the way I act, I always love to show and to exercise the authentic self that I do have. And regardless of the opinions of others, I believe that what matters the most is my individuality. So not all women are born biological women, because we trans women are women. So regardless of the statement of other people, regardless of the narrative, whether they use the most powerful mythological books, Bible, it will never change my idea that we trans women are women. They don't understand us because they don't want to understand us. So we, as a trans women, we need to be resilient enough, to be strong enough, because I am not losing hope that everyone, even the most religious individual, will going to understand and also realize that trans women are women soon in the right time. That's why we are fighting, and I am very happy to be part of this organization, because this organization is one of the biggest organization that really fighting for the trans women's right. So yes, I really do believe that not all women are born biologically women.
Thank you.
To follow up Miss Jane's question, my next question for you is, in your beliefs, what is the difference between being a cisgender woman and being a transgender woman?
Oh, that's really a tough question. If you're going to ask me the difference between the cisgender woman and the transgender woman, I think it is only the physical attribute that the woman and the trans woman possess, because we all know the difference between the capability of the physical attribute of a cisgender woman compared to a trans woman. But that is the only thing that I really think that it considered as a difference. So the physical attribute only, because the way we feel, the heart, and at the same time the way we think is also women. So we are all just the same. We are all women. It's just that we don't have the capabilities to give birth, to carry a child in our wombs. However, in our womb. However, in terms of the emotional aspect, or shall I say the emotional intelligence of a trans woman and a cisgender woman is just the same. So I think that it's just a physical appearance, but in a holistic approach, we are all the same.
Thank you so much.
I would like to follow up on that because that was very interesting. So, do you believe that trans women are women?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Definitely, I believe, because I know to myself that I am a woman. It's just that the term is transgender woman, but I claim myself as a woman.
Thank you. Okay, this is getting interesting. I have one interesting question for you as well, which I also asked the other candidates. No, there is a resistance to trans women competing in women's sports or women's category because of the issues that generally focuses on the attributes, the physiological attributes such as height, weight, or strength, or performance metrics such as speed or strength. Do you believe that the metrics that I have mentioned, meaning you are much more physically stronger than a woman, or your physiological attributes are more, let's say, robust or supreme than a cisgender woman?
Well, to be honest, ma'am, in terms of a certain competition, I never consider myself as better than anyone else, nor I never think that other people is better than me, because I always believe that we are all equal. It's just that we have differences in terms of our attitude, our dreams, our social status, nor economic status, educational attainment. But in terms of capabilities, in general, in a certain competition, I think that we are all equal, because every one of us, even though it's all trans women, we do have something to offer. So I believe that if there's a competition and there's a woman competing together with a transgender woman, the fight is still the same. The fight is still fair, because we give, and at the same time we present different flavors. So it's just that when we combine together, when we see all of the things that every candidate served in the table, there is just one candidate who possesses more beauty, more power, shall I say, more attractive. So I believe that it's still the same, it's still equal. It's just that we are having different flavors. So I'm okay with that, competing with a woman.
Yeah. So how would you, follow-up question, this is just a follow-up. So how would you convert the regressive stance of the public discourse about the participation of transgender athletes in general?
You know, ma'am, I personally believe that I really want that the transgender woman and the woman will compete together in a certain pageant or any certain competition. However, I also consider the mindset of other people. I know that when we say when we will going to act, when we will going to move forward in order for us to be included, in order for us to be considered. But at the same time, if we're going to understand that every one of us, we do have different kinds of mindset, and if you're intelligent enough, you will understand that we are diverse. So I really do understand the reaction of the public. I don't tolerate the reaction of the public that they are saying that we should not be included. But in terms of giving my opinion and at the same time my action, I also consider the mindset of other people. So I believe that it's better for us transgender women to have our own competition. Like, I know to myself that I am a woman. However, we should not only consider ourselves most of the time. We also consider, because we part of the LGBT community, we think that if a person is not in favor with us, we usually think that we are fight by someone else. Actually, It's just that they have their own principle, they have their own mindset, and we need also to consider that thing because we, our own authentic self, we also have difference. So we do have wants that other people doesn't want, and there are things that other people want that we really don't want. So if we want to have a peaceful community, peaceful life, I think we need to understand also the other people, because it's not about like we degrade our own right. It's just that we are more intelligent, more smart, that we understand other people also. So if we show to them that we understand, and at the same time, I also believe that when a certain table doesn't serve respect, love, and care, I will never sit in that table. So I will find another table that love, respect, understanding is served. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Awesome. My next question for you is, how important is it to be a gracious loser?
Gracious loser.
Yes.
I think I am an athlete. I am a beach volleyball gold medalist. And in sports, if you're going to relate sports to life, you'll realize that not every time that the life is in favor with you. So it's very important to have this attitude, this trait of a gracious loser, because when you accept losing, when you accept failures, rejections, I think you're very brave enough. You're a very strong individual, and I think that's me. I experience a lot of rejections, failures, and I learn how to understand that not all things nor dreams are meant for me. So I learned a lot of things. The most important in a certain situation, whether you win or lose, there are learnings. And as an individual, you need to embrace the learnings. You need to gather the knowledge in order for you to make yourself a better version, so that tomorrow when you compete again, you will achieve victory. And at the same time, I believe that when you accept losing full-heartedly, it's not losing anymore, it's learning. So that is part of the competition, that's part of life, because not all things that you want, you will get it. So you really need to accept defeat, to understand the situation, the concept of life. So when you do that, I believe that you're a very matured individual.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I have some more. I have listed some for the girls. So this is still related to the previous questions that I've asked, only that this is about pageantry, not sports. So if you were a cisgender woman, how would you convince the whole world about transgender women in cisgender pageantry?
In a certain pageant, ma'am, to be specific?
Let me repeat the question. If you were a cisgender woman, how would you convince the whole world about transgender women or the participation of trans women in a cisgender pageantry?
So, as if given a chance to become a cisgender woman, I would love to tell to the world that the trans women are not competing with a woman. I believe that the transgender women are inspired by me, inspired by women, inspired by mother, sister, friends. So I believe that the presence of the transgender woman is very important, because I believe that the transgender woman has something to offer, has something to do with the community. They can inspire and motivate other people, and we can use the intelligence of these trans women to help even the world. So that's what I say to the world, that the presence, and of course, we should always remember that no one should be left behind. So the transgender woman should have the presence.
Madame Brazil, you have some more questions?
Yes, are you completed, Miss Jean?
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was writing down notes. Okay, so yes, I'm sorry. So you explained to us about the experiences you've had in the pageantry world. And with experience in education, we understand it's important in today's world, especially the pageantry system. You touched lightly on your resume of things you've accomplished, but could you tell us and explain to us a little bit more, how would you be able to confidently reign if selected as Miss Trans Global from your past experiences in education in the pageantry world?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question because the connection was struggling?
Yes. So, experience in education is very important in today's world. You've touched lightly on your past, but can you tell us what experience in education in the pageantry world could you say that you'll know confidently you'll be able to reign as Miss Trans Global Queen if selected?
Oh, thank you for that, ma'am. Well, before I start competing in a certain pageant, I am very hesitated because there are a lot of people telling me that I'm ugly because I'm actually darker in person. It's just I think the light makes me more lighter, but I'm dark. So here in our country, Philippines, this is a kind of place where a person like me, having this kind of skin color at the same time being a gay, before I consider myself as a gay, and at the same time being a product of a broken family, they always turn me down. They always say something bad, and I'm very prone to bullying even until college. Yes, even though I look like a very strong individual, but I'm very prone in terms of bullying. So I'm very hesitated that time to join a competition, a pageant, because I never consider myself as a beautiful individual. But entering to school, this one teacher told me that regardless of the physical attribute, what matters the most is your character. So every time I watch pageant, I know to myself that I am able to answer those questions that was asked for the candidates. So I try. When I try joining pageant, I experience a lot of defeat, mostly, yes. And because of this defeat, I learned a lot of things, and process in terms of process, I learned how to accept myself because they are always laughing in terms of my butt so dark, but I realized that why I will set some boundaries where this kind of activity, the pageant, is the activity that I really do love. So I vanish, I eradicate the narrative of other people. And I think this experience will going to push me in order for me to consider that I deserve the crown, because I believe that the queen who deserved the crown for this title, Miss Trans Global, is not afraid to be different and at the same time accept and live her authentic self. And I really learned to accept myself, and at the same time I know how to gather good comments and vanish harsh and hard comments. And I think that is the best learning that I consider that this is the key for me to win the crown.
Okay, thank you so much. Miss Jane?
I have a little bit more. This is also another question that I usually ask the ladies. So, actually, this is a very long question, but I will pause for the first one and then a follow-up, okay? So, Angela Ponce, being officially a woman in Spain, earned that right to join and represent Spain in Miss Universe 2018. Cataluna Enriquez, also being officially a woman, represented her state in Miss USA. So how would you convince, or what actions would you take in order for the gender recognition law to be passed in your country?
Well, that's really a hard question, Mom, because again, I am living in the Philippines where most of the people are very religious yet judgmental. That's true. And I cannot really say that we are united because we are very struggling in terms of having a peace life. I think that's because we are diverse in terms of religion and, the belief, the principles. Because we are diverse here in Philippines, we have a lot of religion. But if given a chance to tell my fellow men, in order for this law, for the gender recognition to be passed, I think that I will tell them that gender is more than how we define gender. Because in terms of the capabilities of a woman, a man, it's more than that. Gender is more than how we define gender. So we should pass this gender recognition because we trans women, we deserve to be included. We deserve to be recognized. We deserve to be recognized as a cisgender woman because, it's really hard to live in a life where you think you're excluded, you are disregarded. And, here in the Philippines, we are not politically recognized, yet I think we are paying tax and we are serving the government, we are serving the community. So I think that everyone should have equal treatment. So that is the best thing that I could do. I will talk to every person around the country. I will talk to my fellow men. I will express my opinion, express my voice, and express the emotions, because the emotions will also help me to touch the heart of my fellow men in order for them to understand the real me, the real reason why this gender recognition should be passed. But to tell you honestly, Mom, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. So I believe that I am able to have a step on that kind of mindset, Mom. So I'm really looking forward to fight the right of a trans woman.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, I have a follow-up question. I mean, still pertinent to the pageantry. But so then, how would you persuade Philippines, your country, about this progressive action of Spain with regards to women of transgender experience in a cisgender pageantry?
So I think we should explain more the essence, the importance of pageant, because mostly here in the Filipinos, even though Philippines is one of the best fun, very fanatic in terms of pageantry, they don't just really understand the importance, the essence of pageant. So we should always also consider the significance of these platforms. So the pageant is not just about the wit, the glamour, the physical attribute of a certain candidate. It's more than that, because the way we visualize pageant, the way we see it in television or even in live, I think that the things that you see in your naked eye is just, I think, 10% of the holistic approach of the pageant, because the pageant is more than that. The pageant should have the action, the advocacy, the platform, the story of every candidate, the journey, the significance. So the word is the significance. So regardless of the differences between the transgender woman and the cisgender woman, I think we as audience, we need to understand that what if we allow transgender women? What if we hear them? What if we see the things that they can offer? And I believe that we are very colorful enough. We're very efficient in terms of giving our actions. So I think we are very we are best candidate that we can exercise during that pageant, and we do have a lot of advocacy, and based on the experience that we are experiencing, this would be a very wonderful power, a wonderful armor for us to inspire, to motivate other people. So the clue is to understand the holistic approach of the pageant. It's not just about the gender, it's not just about the wit, the glamour, it's also about the platform. And platform has no gender.
Thank you. Another follow-up. Just this is a personal one. You can say answer yes or no. So we're always praying that gender recognition law would be passed in each country. For example, in your case, Philippines. Would you apply for a petition for a name change in the gender markers in your documents?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
mom,
that-
definitely, because it's really offensive sometimes when, the way they address me, just because they're just seeing the information in my birth certificate or whatsoever. And at the same time, sometimes when you fill up forms here in our country, I'm very hesitant to check female, because I know that I am not politically recognized and I am not recognized as a woman, and I'm very also hesitant to check the male information, because I consider myself as a woman, so it's very hard. So definitely yes, I will have a petition to change my gender in my information.
That's good. We're on the same boat. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, ladies, I think it's 30 minutes now.
Yeah.
Do you still have one more question, Bridget?
Well, girl, yes, just one more. I can go ahead and just wrap this up.
All right, hold on, let me leave. All right, I'll leave it to you. Go on.
Okay. Win, lose, or draw, you're still representing yourself. And when you pass away and leave this earth, the only thing you leave behind is your name. And your name will be your legacy. Being Miss Trans Global Philippines, you're representing an entire nation of the trans community there. How would you push for the growth of Miss Trans Global and its visibility there in the Philippines?
Well, that's really a good question, Mom, because I am actually so emotional last week, because I am the first ever transgender who is allowed to wear female uniform in my college school, and I think that is the legacy that I can live, because I was able to fulfill the dreams of every transgender to wear female uniform. So I do have the guts that time to face our OSA director and said that I will not wear the male uniform. I should wear the female uniform because I am a woman. And I also tell him that my gender, the way I dress is not the basis that's not the basis of my educational attainment, because I believe that even though I wear the female uniform, I can make my college school proud of me. So when I was crowned as Reina de Vavenia, that is the start of the past of this kind of rule that we are allowed to wear a female uniform. So I'm very happy to fulfill every dreams of a transgender woman. However, we changed our OSA director, and my OSA director right now is what should I say? Like a LGBT member but hiding. You know what I mean, ma'am? Like, shall I say, discreet. So I know this person because we hung out before, and I consider him as a discreet person. And I really don't understand. He is part of our community, yet he's the one who is hindering our dreams to wear female uniform. So we are not allowed again to wear the female uniform. And during the graduation, I should graduate this this semester. However, I cancel some subjects because I cannot really handle. And most of the transgender women, sadly, they are wearing the barong Tagalog. That is male outfit here in the Philippines. So every transgender dream is to wear Filipiniana. It's female outfit. So you know what I mean? So the legacy that you can do is the effect, the changes of others' life by your action. So in order for me to do that, and in my whole country, I think that I will never ever be afraid to give my opinion, to raise my voice, to claim my right, because justice will never be served, inequality is always there unless you step on, unless you move forward. So I myself, I'm very confident, and I am a kind of person that never afraid to raise my voice, to give my opinion, even though I am not sure that I am correct. I still give my opinion because I am not afraid to experience mistake, because by that I could learn. So when you get to know me, ma'am, I'm very proud to say that I'm very frank and honest person the way I speak. So I never think the opinions, the possible opinions of other people towards my opinion. And I think that is the best thing that you can do, because I am just a normal individual. I am not a millionaire. I'm not a business owner. So what should I do? So the best thing that I can do is to give my opinion, to give my little action, little by little. So when you create this thing, when you are very confident enough that you can make a difference, so the way when time will come that you'll be, you'll be banished here in this beautiful earth, at least that they will going to remember you, whether positive or negative. They will going to remember you because your attitude, the way you speak, the way you stand with your opinion, the way you act will be remembered by so many people. And I think when you act, when you give your voice, when you give your opinions, I'm pretty sure that there are not everyone will going to disagree. There are some people will going to agree with you. They will going to learn from you. So when you die, the learning that you give to other people is will going to be processed, and that learning will going to share with other people until everyone will going to learn about our gender. So never be afraid to give your opinion. Whether you are not sure, never be afraid to give your opinion. Raise your voice. Never afraid for the narrative quality.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.